Hi there, I'm Dina, and I just wanted to say thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. This week's video is all about everything I ate Sunday through Saturday, a full week of healthy, plant-based, and realistic meals. Let's get to the video. My Sunday morning started off very simply with a delicious juice of carrot, orange, and turmeric, and a couple of ripe bananas. Okay, I'm about ready to do some meal prep. I just wanted to have a snack first, so I've got a little tangerine cutie, or I think it's a clementine. I'm not sure. Cuties, anyway, sweet little oranges. I have one of those and some dates and some walnuts with some cashew sauce. I'm gonna snack on this real quick and we'll get ready for meal prep. All right, so one of the things I wanted to meal prep for this week are sprouts. Sprouts are awesome on salads, great in smoothies, super good for you, really nutrient dense, easy to digest. If you have trouble digesting grains, sprouting is one of the ways that can help you with that. I won't go into all the scientific detail, but you can research it. So today we have buckwheat, I'm going to sprout, some quinoa, some broccoli seeds, and some pumpkin seeds. I've been snacking on those, by the way. I love, 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 love pumpkin seeds. And I just bought some new sprouting lids for my jars, which have mysteriously disappeared. So I thought, well, I'll just use cheesecloth, right? Couldn't find that either. I'm going to use some of this linen cloth that I have. I have several of these. For a snack this afternoon, my husband and I are going to have a nice hot matcha with some frothed almond milk. It is absolutely freezing in here. It may be the middle of April, but it is cold today, cold and rainy. Anyway, I've been working on recipe testing and doing some other things around the house this afternoon. I didn't realize it had gotten so late, but suddenly I realized I was so hungry. So I'm not ready to cook dinner yet. I'm not sure what I'm even going to have tonight, really. But I figured since these oats were ready and already prepped, that sounded good to me. Back in my robe. It is so chilly today. So what I'm going to have for dinner is just a big veggie salad with some spicy sweet potatoes. I just wanted to show you what I'm making the dressing out of. In here I have 1 tablespoon of cashews, and I'm going to add a tablespoon of hemp seeds, a little bit of onion powder, just a tiny bit of garlic powder. I don't want to overdo it with the garlic. I'm going to put some on the sweet potatoes too. And some salsa. Almost out of salsa. I think I'm going to have to get into the other jar for my salad. A little bit of nutritional yeast, about a tablespoon of that also. And I'm just going to put enough water in here to blend this up to make a dressing. Before I air fry my sweet potatoes and chop up my veggies for my salad, I'm going to make a quick spice mixture for the sweet potatoes. So I just have some salt, about a teaspoon, onion powder, about a half a teaspoon, also half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and this stuff. This is available at Target. It's a umami mushroom powder, and it is really, really good. If you haven't tried it, it's like really adds a savoriness. I really love this stuff. And I'll be adding about a teaspoon of that. Just gives it a nice savory umami flavor. And I have some cayenne, about a quarter teaspoon. Use as much or as little as you like, or leave it out. I like stuff spicy, so that works for me. I'm also putting in hot Mexican chili powder. And for a little bit more smokiness, some smoked paprika. This is my compost bowl for the day. This orange has gone a little bit over, so it's going out to the compost. So I'm going to chop up only about half of this cucumber for my salad, and I'm going to save the other half for juice in the morning. Throw that in there in the compost. So I've just got a big bunch of salad greens. This is the organic mix. It has arugula, kale, and some red leaf lettuce in there. It's really yummy. I've got that and some romaine. Which I love for salads. I love romaine. It's a little bit a little bit sweet and crunchy. I like that much better than iceberg, which iceberg, you know, it has its moments, but I like romaine a little bit better. So I'm just going to mix that up, mix that around with my impeccably clean hands. And I'm going to chop up a little red cabbage. Just going to shred it up really quick. I need to actually take some time to ferment some, but it has been so busy. Maybe once the garden gets going and I don't have so much work to do out there, I'll have a little bit more time for pickling and fermenting. I'd like to also make some shrub soda or maybe some kombucha. All right, and I'm going to add a little bell pepper. I'll probably just go ahead and use the rest of this one. And my cucumber. I would normally go outside and get some fresh herbs out of the herb garden, like some cilantro and parsley, but it has rained all day and it's very cold outside. The herbs are all soggy and not too appetizing, so I'm just going to go without that today. Cilantro sounds really good, but like I said, it's too soggy out there today. Okay, cucumber. So I have these and some avocado, some salsa, and my salad dressing. So I'm going to put some salsa on top. And my avocado. And some of my spicy dressing. How good does that look? This is going to be yummy.
Good Monday morning. This morning, I thought I would have some avocado toast. I needed to use up the rest of the avocado that was left over from my sweet potato salad last night. So I'm just mashing this up with some peas and adding nutritional yeast and everything bagel seasoning. If you haven't tried your avocado mashed with peas, I highly suggest it. It is so good and it boosts the protein content. So I'm just going to top this also with some hemp seeds, and this is a good balanced meal.
Okay, so it's another kind of chilly day. It rained again, and the sun has just barely come out. I'm going to get out in the garden and get busy. I've got a lot to do today outside. But first, I wanted to show you real quick what I am making for later today. I soaked some beans yesterday. I didn't get around to cooking them, but I have these soaked mixed beans, and I think later I'm going to make a pot of chili. So I'm just going to let those continue soaking for a couple more hours. I've just rinsed all of my sprout grains, and I decided I'm going to make some bread with the buckwheat. Like I said, it's kind of chilly today. It's the high is only going to be like 70, which I realize for most people is very warm, but for me it is not warm enough. So it's going to be kind of chilly. It's chilly in the house, so I thought it might be a good day to turn on the oven and do a little baking. So I've got my soaked buckwheat sprouts, and you can see it's broken up, and most of the skins have come off. I have rinsed it about 4 times. When you soak the buckwheat, the skins will come off like they do for chickpeas, if you've ever soaked chickpeas. And you just fill the bowl with water a few times and rinse them around, and the skins will float to the top, and you just pour those off. So that's what we have here. In this bowl, I have a cup and a half of whole wheat flour and a cup and a half of oat flour. And I have some maple syrup and warm water here for my yeast. Just going to put that in while I mix up the buckwheat. Hopefully that yeast is good. We'll see. I have plenty if it's not, but hate when that happens. So I'm just going to put about a cup of buckwheat in here, and I'm going to save the rest. Okay, so this is our blended up buckwheat. It's kind of like a paste. You don't have to blend it too fine. In fact, if you want to make buckwheat bread and you're using soaked or sprouted buckwheat, you really don't even have to blend it up. You can leave it whole and just leave it in there, and it makes a nice texture. I'm just going for like a smoother kind of sandwich style bread. So I'm just adding that in with our flour mixture. And I'm going to fill this back up with water. And for this amount of flour and buckwheat, it depends on the day and how humid it is, how much water you'll have to add, but I'll probably have to add about 2 cups of water. Okay, so I'm just going to add enough water in here to make a pliable dough. And our yeast looks good. It's nice and foamy, so we'll go ahead and add that in. And don't let bread intimidate you. It is not hard. Even if you make a bad bread, it's probably still better and better for you than anything you'll buy in the store. So don't be intimidated by it. There are all kinds of recipes. There are super simple, no knead recipes that turn out great every time. Don't be intimidated. Give it a try if you haven't. It's worth it. It's worth the effort. Definitely. Always. Okay, and here's our dough. And I don't think I showed on camera or said, but I did add about a teaspoon of salt. So this is a no knead recipe. And you can see it's pretty wet and sticky. So That's what you're looking for. And I have just sprayed this lightly with some cooking spray so that it doesn't stick after it rises. So it's pretty chilly today, like I said. um, it'll probably take this a couple hours on its initial rise. I've noticed with like buckwheat flours and harder flours like whole wheat and oat flour, they take a little bit longer of a proofing or a rise than just regular all-purpose flour. So we'll get this in here and get it covered. And while I'm out working in the garden, it can kind of just hang out and do its thing. And we'll come back and check on it in a couple hours. And at that time, I'll probably get my beans on cooking for dinner tonight.
I needed a quick little snack, and this is one of my favorite go-tos. It's just a chopped up banana with some PB2 on top. It's perfect every time. This is a very sticky dough, so one tip that I like to use when I'm working with the sticky dough is just to coat my hands in olive oil, and that way the dough does not stick to your hands and you can get it out of the pan easily. You could use a spoon or whatever, but I prefer to just use my hands. So I'm just going to divide the dough between two loaf pans that I have lightly sprayed with olive oil, and spread the dough out and let it rise again for another couple of hours in the pan.
I just came in for a quick break from the garden. Have been working hard out there. It turned out to be really nice in the mid 60s. Kind of chilly. But you might see my husband rolling by on the excavator back there. We're still doing some construction work, but I apologize if it's noisy. So I got super hungry. It's already almost 3 o'clock. I didn't realize it had gotten that late. Had to come in and check on my beans and my bread, which are both looking good. And I just popped a burrito in the air fryer. This is one I had meal prepped in the freezer. And I'm going to let that cool while I snack on this orange. But I wanted to show you really quickly what this orange is kind of tough to peel today. I need to hurry up and eat these or juice them, I guess. Um, just wanted to show you real quick what I'm going to do with my sprouts. I've got my broccoli sprouts and my pumpkin seed sprouts. And I've got my little lids here and my cloth. Just gonna put that down. And these have soaked for about 24 hours, and I've rinsed and drained them probably, I think, about 6 times. So they should be good to go. And I have found what works really well if you don't have a sprouting rack is to just get a bread loaf pan, and you can set these in at an angle just like that. Stick them in a cabinet or a counter away from the sunlight, and you'll want to rinse them 2 or 3 times a day. The pumpkin seeds, I think, will take probably about 3 to 4 days, and the broccoli seeds will probably take 4 to 5 days. We'll see. It depends on the weather and the humidity, but you want to keep them out of the direct sunlight. And I'm just going to put mine down here in the cabinet, and they'll be out of the sunlight. And then on the last day after they've started to sprout, on the last day you can put them in a sunny window to get some sunlight. Okay, I'm going to cut this open. See if it's hot in the middle. Oh, it's nice and crispy. It's still a little bit cool in the middle. I'm going to pop this back in the air fryer and eat my orange, and I will catch up with you at dinner time. So this bread turned out so good, so nice and fluffy in the middle and soft with a crispy um, crust. It's almost like a focaccia, but no oil, and it's so tasty. So I decided to hold off on the chili, just put the beans in the fridge. They're already cooked, so we'll have meal prep with beans for the week, and I'll probably do the chili tomorrow. But tonight, a sandwich just sounded really, really good. So I have some tofu in the air fryer, and I'm just going to chop up some lettuce and tomato, a little bit of onion, and a little bit of cucumber. I'm starting my morning with some more of this delicious bread, which I've toasted, and I'm just going to enjoy with some almond butter, some orange marmalade, and some hemp seeds. This bread turned out so good. And I'll just sprinkle on some hemp seeds. And that is breakfast.
Today was a perfect day to enjoy a snack in the warm weather on the front porch and watch the birds and squirrels. I just have a mushroom latte with some walnuts and dates. Dates are one of my favorite snacks, and walnuts are so super good for you. Dates are perfect if you need like a sweet treat in the afternoon, something with some natural sugar to boost your energy. It might be kind of hard to tell, but I just wanted to show you the sprouted quinoa. If you look really, really close, you can see that they have teeny tiny little tails. And I just have them laid out on some um, coffee filters with a towel underneath to dry out really well, and then I'll dehydrate them on low till they're nice and dried out. And yeah, then they'll store in a glass jar with the lid.
I have been busy today. So I did not actually eat a lunch. I've been snacking all day, however. I've had two bananas, an orange, some chips, and salsa that I made. And I made this recipe into a short. They're really super easy, no oil, air fryer, or baked tortilla chips. So good. So I'm going to get started on our chili so it will have a couple of hours to sit around and simmer and let the flavors develop before dinner. So this is just a super simple, easy veggie chili. You can put whatever veggies you like in there. This is what I have today, so this is what we're going with. I have about a cup of red pepper, and I'm just going to use a little bit of water to saute this in. I don't think it's necessary to put any oil. About a cup of onion, and about 2 cups of mushroom. I don't always put like a meat substitute in the chili. You can add one here if you like after you saute the vegetables, like a Beyond or Impossible or a textured veggie crumble. But I had all of these mushrooms that needed to be used up, so I figured that would be pretty good. So I'm just going with the mushroom, the onion, and pepper. And after these saute a little bit, and after I put the tomato paste and the spices in, I'm going to add 1 chopped clove of garlic and 1 serrano pepper. You can use a jalapeno instead. The serrano is a little bit spicier, and this is one that I grew in the garden this year, and these peppers are spicy. So after this sautés a little bit and I add the spices in to cook, I'll put the garlic and pepper in then. All right, and after the pepper and garlic have cooked down a little bit, I'm going to add a large can of crushed tomatoes. You can use stewed tomatoes here too. I generally have some in the pantry, but I just don't at the moment. So I'm just using this can of crushed tomatoes. And I'm going to fill that can up with water, probably about 3/4 of the way with water, and add that in here after I see how far the beans fill the pot up. I have about 3.5 cups of mixed beans. Yesterday I prepped and cooked these after soaking them. It's just a combination of kidney beans, black beans, cannellini beans, and butter beans. And yeah, I think that's it. And I'm going to give this a stir and bring it to a simmer with the can of water, and then we'll be ready to just let it chill on the stove for a couple of hours. Smells amazing. Well, my avocado is not perfect. It's a little bit spotted, but I soaked it in lime juice and I think it's going to be okay. So I'm just going to serve up a bowl of this chili. Oh, it was a long day again today. Feeling pretty good though, feeling pretty good. My husband is still out there working away on the excavating project. So I'm just going to top my bowl of chili with a few fresh yellow onions, a little bit of avocado, and all of this cilantro, which isn't much. But my poor little cilantro plant on the porch is struggling right now this time of year. In a couple weeks he will really look a lot better, but right now he's kind of struggling. And I'm just going to add some of my baked chips here. I'm going to take all of the ones that have nutritional yeast on them because my husband is not a fan of nutritional yeast. I don't know why. Something's wrong with him. Something's wrong with him if he doesn't like nutritional yeast. Anyway, that's dinner. I'm going to sit down and enjoy this and catch up on some emails. You know what? I think I'm going to put the just a couple drops of lime in there. Sounds good to me. Good Wednesday morning, everybody. I've been up for a while doing some things around the kitchen. I made some fresh almond milk, which will be on my Instagram. I might make it into a short for YouTube also. But I decided since I had some fresh milk, I would have a nice bowl of cereal. And here I just have some of my homemade quinoa flakes. These have been really good. I definitely will be making some more cereal. And I have some soy puffs for a little added protein. Some hemp seeds. About a tablespoon of those. And I'm also adding some of these freeze-dried strawberries. Oh, these smell amazing. This is going to be good. Okay, and some fresh almond milk.
For lunch today, it's a little bit warm outside, so I thought a smoothie bowl would be nice. I have in here just a huge bunch of greens and berries and a scoop of protein powder, and I'm adding some of my sprouted quinoa. And I'm just going to put that into a bowl with some banana, some soy puffs, some hemp seeds, and some more of my sprouted quinoa. And I'm topping this with PB2, and this is like a peanut butter and jelly smoothie bowl. It is so, so good. For dinner tonight, I thought some chili cheese fries sounded really good, so I'm just chopping up some potatoes that I had meal prepped. They're just parboiled so they can go straight into the oven or the air fryer, and they're nice and crispy in 5 to 7 minutes.
So for our cheese fries, I'm just putting together a quick, easy cheese sauce. This is just about 3 tablespoons of soaked cashews with 1 boiled carrot, and I'm just going to add a little garlic powder and onion powder, a little salt. This is about the easiest cheese sauce you can make. And about a teaspoon of lemon juice. You need a little bit of something sour in there, whether you use lemon juice or apple cider vinegar or even a little lactic acid. And I'm going to go in with about 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Since my husband's not here, he's not even going to know it went in there, and he probably won't even be able to tell. We'll see. Okay, I'm gonna blend this up and just set it aside until my fries are ready. Can we just take a moment for how creamy and cheesy this cheese sauce turned out? It is so yummy. I swear one of these days I am going to cut my tongue on that blender blade tasting stuff, and it will sure be an embarrassing situation at urgent care.
Good morning. This morning I woke up with a little bit of a headache. I think I might have let myself get dehydrated a little bit yesterday, working outside and not drinking enough water. So this morning before my run, I'm going to start with a nice hydrating juice. And in here I'm just putting some celery, some kale, this leftover piece of cucumber and orange, and some of this parsley that I harvested yesterday. My parsley plant out there had gone to seed, and I don't really need any more parsley seeds, so I thought I would just harvest this all out. Parsley is actually very high in iron and has lots of good stuff in it for you, so I'm gonna put a little bit of this in my juice, and then I will have an actual breakfast when I get back from my run. For lunch today, I'm just having another veggie pack, nice big salad. And for a dressing, I just made a simple vinaigrette of brown mustard and red wine vinegar with a little bit of garlic. It's oil-free, it's delicious, and I'm going to top my salad with some crispy, crunchy salad topper, and I'll link the short video that I made for that. It's delicious. For dinner tonight, I'm having one of my favorite easy pastas. It's just some high protein pasta simmered in veggie stock with frozen peas and topped with nutritional yeast, salt and pepper, and some fresh herbs. Tonight I'm using parsley. Good Friday morning. Breakfast this morning is a simple cherry smoothie, just frozen cherries, some of my sprouted quinoa, and some almond milk. This was perfect for breakfast this morning. For a snack this afternoon, I'm just having a matcha latte with some almond milk and some fruit. I think I'll have some more bananas and PB2. It has been kind of an off kind of day. I haven't had much of an appetite today. Not really sure why, what's going on, but I just focused on staying hydrated and listened to my body. Didn't eat too much today, but I'm a little bit hungry. I didn't want anything too heavy for dinner, so I've got some of my homemade oil-free hummus, some homemade cream cheese, some of my sprouts, some veggies, and I heated up a flatbread out of the freezer. And I think this is going to be dinner along with a big glass of water, and I will catch up with you tomorrow morning. Good Saturday morning. I woke up absolutely starving this morning, and I'm just having coffee. I usually don't like to have anything on my stomach before I run, but this morning I'm really hungry, so I'm just going to have a banana with my coffee and get outside and run. I just got back from my run. It's a really nice morning out there. I got some things done in the garden, and for breakfast this morning I'm going to have another smoothie. This one has mango and banana, a big bunch of kale, for protein,
And some healthy fats. I'm putting in some chia seeds and some hemp seeds. And some spirulina. Look at that color. It's so fun. It does get all over everything though. I need to move that scoop to like a jar or something. Okay, and just some almond milk. And blend that up. Okay, I've got a fun little treat planned, but first I'm going to have this and clean up a little bit around here. I have been filming a short, and today's short video was on this cherry cream cheese pastry. I just used phyllo dough, some vegan cream cheese, and some cherry chia jam to fold into a pocket and topped with some cherry glaze. Let me tell you, this thing is so good. Anyway, this is my snack for today, but in just a few minutes I'm going to make a chickpea salad, and today I also have more sprouts I'm getting going and baking some more bread. In my bowl for my chickpea salad, I just have some dill pickle relish, about a tablespoon each. Well, I have about a teaspoon of vegan mayo and about a tablespoon of mustard because I like mine really mustardy, really with that vinegar tang. So I have that in there, and I just have about 2 tablespoons each chopped celery and onion. You can put whatever you like in a chickpea salad. I'm just keeping it simple today, like a classic chicken or tuna salad or egg salad. This is basically what you would put in there. And I'm just going in with some fresh cracked pepper and a little bit of Calamanac or black salt. It kind of gives it that eggy flavor. If you haven't tried this, I highly recommend it. It just gives it like that little bit of funk. But if you're using it, be careful. Don't add regular salt. You will way over salt things. So use it in place of regular salt if you're using it. And I'm going to grab some of my fresh, just a little bit of fresh parsley. I had set it over there on the table out of the way. But I'm just going to chop this up really quick. It needs to be used up. I have like a whole giant forest over there of parsley. Maybe I'll use some of it. I have this other roll of phyllo dough I'm trying to figure out what to do with. I'm wishing now that I would have made a double batch of cherry turnovers, but probably not. I'd probably just sit around and eat them all. So I'm gonna see if I can come up with an idea to make a savory turnover out of that. I don't have any spinach, which would be ideal, but I'm sure I can look around in the freezer and the refrigerator and the pantry and find something. So I did not peel my chickpeas this time, which I usually take the time to do. So they're kind of not looking the greatest, kind of look sludgy in there, but I'm sure they're fine. Just gonna give this a quick mash together and put it on my sandwich, and that will be lunch. And I will catch up with you later and let you know what I do with my phyllo dough. I forgot to show you, I was also going to put some fresh broccoli sprouts on here and mention that, oh, that looks so good. These old tomato containers with a coffee filter make a perfect reusable tray if you have sprouts to store in the fridge.
I had a late night tonight, so I kept it really simple with just some air-fried tofu, potatoes, and broccoli, seasoned really well, and that will bring an end to a full week of healthy, realistic, and simple plant-based meals. Thanks again so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!